Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Robin Earth. Is that -22 or -22? I don't know. I've lost track of all these various Earths, and I never got into this whole storyline at all, really. So you guys can let me know about that kind of stuff. And also, is he a vampire? He's got fangs and like pointy ears and white skin. Is that what's happening? Somehow Robin and all these other Robins are vampire? I have no idea what's going on here at all. Not even a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just totally... Anyway, who cares about that? We're here to talk about the figure. It's done pretty well in a lot of ways. There's a couple things that aren't great, but a lot of good stuff going on. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands roughly 6 1/4 inches, which makes him pretty close to... let's say 15.5 centimeters. That's not quite right, but you get the idea. All right, question of the day. Which Robin is your favorite? For me, it has to be Dick. Oh man, no, but seriously, I do. I prefer Dick. Oh man, I'm never gonna not laugh at that. All right, on to the review. As far as aesthetics go, McFarlane did a really good job with everything except for one thing here. The aesthetics on this figure are excellent, excellent. Mostly because they have a soft torso and soft trunks which hide a lot of the articulation. They hurt the articulation, we'll get to that later, but you do get a good sculpt throughout because of that. Lots of clothing wrinkles, nice details. The skin is textured, of course, and there's a wash and some shading throughout, so that's very nicely done. The gloves and boots have very nice texturing on them as well. The thing that really sets this figure off, and it's little things like this that really make things look better. It doesn't take that much. The little stitches which are sculpted are also painted exceptionally well at the sleeves. Yeah, all of this is clean and it's really well done, but these little details, the little things can make a figure or break it, I think, and this looks so good. The face is also really well sculpted and painted. The hair has shading in it, of course, obviously lots of shading throughout. Very well done. The one thing I don't like about this figure specifically, like I really hate it, is he has the chain link thing going into his neck. First of all, there's no bone there to hold it, so that's not right. But also, based on these images, which I'm guessing are accurate, they're tied around the cape, or like as a full-on collar, not going into the actual neck. And this chain link is going right through the neck. And it looks terrible. Now, you may not notice it once you put the head down or whatever, so it's not that big of a deal, I guess, for most people, but that's super duper wrong. It's not supposed to be going into his throat. That's weird. One thing that I think would have been good, though, is if they actually put some holes in the cape rather than just sculpting them but leaving them solid. That doesn't look good. And I don't think it would have cost them anything to do that, but it would have looked really nice. But ultimately, it's a very aesthetically pleasing figure if you... not the character design. The figure itself is well executed and matches the source material exceptionally well. So, good on them for that. Aesthetics on this figure are going to get a 9 out of 10. Very well done. As far as accessories go, we do get the trading card in the package, which is this right here. It's the same image as this, so if you want the trading card, just leave it in the package and cut this out. It's on the back, and it's a separate piece than the blue, so it wouldn't make the figure package look bad if you wanted to save the packaging. You also get a black display stand in there, a little plastic disc with a peg in it. I don't like those. Again, you have to ruin the packaging to get them out, so I leave them in. And then lastly, we do get a metal chain, which can be clipped to his throat chain. Accessories 5 out of 10. Nothing special here, nothing good, nothing bad. The chain's fine, so whatever. All right, as far as articulation goes, ball pegs aplenty in the head, moves around everywhere, no problem at all. The neck moves around a little bit. I can't tell if that's just the flex of plastic or if there's actually a joint in there. I wouldn't stress it too much. It might work for yours, but based on mine, I think it's not actually there. For the shoulders, perfectly good range there, no problem. I don't like that they sculpted it into the armpit. They should have just mushed that flush so that when you raise the arm it doesn't look bad, because it doesn't really matter when it's down, you can't see it anyway, but that's not that big of a deal. Full rotation, that's fine. You get a bicep swivel at the sleeve, which is nice. Single jointed elbow, not the best looking joint, and very limited range. I don't know why they're having so much trouble with basic articulation. Like, that's not something that should have been hard for them to do, and it's ugly and doesn't work well. We have ball hinges in the wrists, behind the gloves, which means it doesn't really matter. You're going to get some range out of it, but not a ton. The torso has a set of hinges, one for going forward and back, one for going side to side, and there is rotation as well. Be very, very careful. You'll see in one of my other reviews that these types of joints can have problems if they're too tight, but his does lean back and forward. It pinches the crap out of the soft plastic shirt, but he can lean back and he can lean forward. Again, it pinches a ton. Doesn't look great. Not my favorite thing as far as articulation goes, but it's definitely intended for the aesthetic. And then it can lean side to side as well. So functionally, it works okay other than the aesthetic aspect of it. And for the hips, we have soft trunks with just ball-pegged hips, which means there's really no resistance. So the trunks just kind of dictate where the legs can go. They're pretty much worthless. You do get thigh swivels out of it though, so if you like that, that's good. Single jointed knees, again, ugly, not well designed. They'll get the job done, but this is the type of articulation I would expect from like DC Collectibles. It's not particularly good. For the ankles, we have more ball hinges, which are very big, but they're pretty much hidden by his boots, so you can use them, and they work to some extent. They'll be fine. You'll be able to get them into decent poses. And then lastly, we have a toe hinge, which is way too far back on the foot and way too soft, so it's a waste of money. So articulation is definitely not the strong suit here, but the aesthetic does look really nice, and they actually nailed it on this one, so I can make that trade-off. That's their choice, and it's up to you guys if you want to buy it or not. But articulation on its own merits is only like a 6 out of 10. But that's not what they were going for, and since they actually achieved the aesthetic this time, as opposed to some figures where they don't have the aesthetic or the articulation, like I said, I'm perfectly willing to accept that as a valid goal. So yeah, it looks really good. It looks really, really good. Accessory wise, it's unimpressive. Articulation wise, it's unimpressive, but they did what they were trying to do. So I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. It's a decent enough release. You have to know what I've told you going into it, or you may be disappointed. But now that you know it, you can make that decision and spend your money wisely. There you go, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.